They say the body grows old when movement stops, but in Japan, elders never truly stop moving. Not in gyms, not with heavy weights, but in quiet daily motions that keep their bodies light and their spirits steady. If you walk through a Tokyo park at sunrise, you'll see them. Silver hair, steady breaths, slow yet certain steps. Some lift their arms toward the sky. Others rotate their shoulders, stretch their fingers, or balance gently on one leg. Nothing flashy, nothing rushed. Just movement, simple, mindful, repeated every single day. For them, it's not exercise. It's life maintenance. A quiet promise to the body that carried them through decades that it still matters. These 6 movements, practiced morning and evening, are their secret to staying strong without ever stepping inside a gym. And while the world searches for new workouts, they've mastered the old art of consistency. Today, we'll uncover how these daily motions help Japanese elders stay vibrant well into their 80s and 90s. Welcome to the Longevity Journal. I'm John, and today we're joined by Japan's legendary physician, Dr. Shigeaki Hinohara, a man who lived over a century practicing what he preached. Dr. Hinohara, thank you for being here.
Thank you, John. It's a pleasure to share something so simple yet so powerful. Movement at its core is how we honor life. In Japan, elders learn that stillness invites decline. So instead we move, softly, intentionally. The 6 movements I often recommend aren't about building muscle. They're about awakening connection. Stretch the arms to open the chest. Rotate the neck to refresh the mind. Lift the knees to remind the body it's still young inside. These motions teach us presence. They improve balance, blood flow, and mood, but more than that, they give rhythm to our days. When we move every morning, we tell our hearts we are still living. That message alone, I believe, keeps us strong. Aging well isn't about resistance. It's about gentle, daily cooperation with the body that's carried you this far.
Dr. Hinohara, you once said that movement should be seen as a form of care, not punishment, that it's more like a conversation with our body than an obligation. Can you explain what that really means, especially for people over 50 who may feel their bodies slowing down?
Yes, John, that's a very important question. You see, as we grow older, many people begin to treat their bodies as strangers. They move only when necessary, and even then they move carefully, fearfully. But the truth is, the body never stops listening. It remembers how we treat it. In Japan, elders don't think of movement as something they must do. It's not exercise for them. It's maintenance. Like watering a garden you've cared for your entire life. Each small stretch, each step, each rotation is an act of gratitude. It says, "Thank you for carrying me this far. Let's keep going a little longer." When I was young, I watched my mother, who was in her 80s, move every morning before breakfast. She never called it exercise. She simply said, "I'm reminding my body to stay alive today." That stayed with me forever. Our muscles, joints, and organs are living partners. They thrive when we show them attention. But when we ignore them, when we sit for hours or believe we are too old to move, they quietly begin to close down. The body becomes like an unused instrument, still capable of beautiful music, but silent because no one plays it. For those over 50, movement should be gentle but intentional. You don't need equipment, gyms, or long routines. What you need is sincerity. 5 or 10 minutes where you reconnect with yourself. Rotate your shoulders, stretch your fingers, walk with calm steps. These small gestures keep the blood warm, the balance steady, the mind alert. And most importantly, they remind you that aging doesn't mean stopping. It means adjusting the rhythm, not ending the dance. When people tell me they are too old to move, I smile and say, then move like an elder. Move slowly, breathe deeply, but never stop. Because every motion you make, no matter how small, she tells life, I'm still here, still grateful, still moving.
Dr. Hinohara, many people believe they need long, intense workouts to stay healthy. But you often speak about the quiet strength of consistency, small actions done daily. Why do you believe that gentle, regular movement matters more than intensity, especially as we age?
John, it's a beautiful misunderstanding that health must come from effort or exhaustion. In truth, the body doesn't need to be pushed. It needs to be remembered. Consistency is a form of memory. When you move a little every day, your body begins to trust you again. It learns that you will show up, that you will not abandon it. That trust builds strength far deeper than muscles. It builds harmony between your body and your mind. I have met people in their 80s who walk slowly every morning just to buy vegetables. They do not sweat, they do not count steps, and yet they live long, steady lives. Their hearts are strong. Their joints stay loose and their breathing remains calm. Why? Because their movement is part of their rhythm. Every day, without fail, they give their body what it needs. A message that says, I am still in motion. The body loves rhythm. It loves routine. But it becomes confused by neglect followed by sudden effort. That's what happens when we chase intensity. We shock the body instead of nurturing it. You see, in Japan we say, Chisana ugoki okina seikatsu, small movements, big life. It means that little acts done daily create great stability. If you stretch your arms for 5 minutes each morning, you may not notice the change in a week. But in a year you will stand taller, breathe easier and feel lighter. That is the quiet reward of consistency, invisible in the moment but profound over time. When people grow older, they think they must do less. I tell them, do less but do it every day. The body doesn't need grand gestures. It needs gentle reminders. Move a little after waking. Stretch before sleep. Walk after meals. These small patterns become the architecture of longevity. It's not intensity that keeps you young. It's devotion, rhythm, and the promise to move again tomorrow.
Dr. Hinohara, you've often said that movement isn't only for the body, it also nourishes the mind. Can you help us understand what you mean by that? How can simple, mindful motion actually preserve our youth, not just physically, but mentally as well?
Yes, John, that's a very meaningful question. You see, most people move without truly being present. They walk while thinking of yesterday, stretch while worrying about tomorrow. But the Japanese elders who live long and clear-minded understand something deeper, that the way we move can either scatter the mind or center it. When you move with awareness, when you feel the breath entering and leaving as your muscles stretch or your shoulders turn, something changes. The mind begins to quiet, the heart slows, and a kind of gentle focus appears. This focus is the bridge between youth and age. It keeps the inner system alive, calm, and awake. I've seen 90-year-olds move with a kind of grace that you cannot teach in a gym. Their secret isn't flexibility or strength, it's presence. They move slowly enough to feel the texture of the air, the rhythm of their heartbeat, the balance beneath their feet. That awareness keeps their nervous system sharp and their memory clear. Science supports this too. Mindful motion improves blood flow to the brain, reduces stress hormones, and even helps prevent cognitive decline. But beyond science, there is something spiritual about it. When you move mindfully, you remind yourself that you are still part of life's rhythm, still connected to the world around you. Many people try to think their way into peace. I tell them, sometimes peace begins in the body. When you stretch your neck and breathe slowly, your thoughts untangle. When you walk with steady rhythm, your worries begin to fade behind you. This is why movement and mindfulness are one. To move is to meditate without words. To stretch is to listen inwardly. And when that happens, the body grows calm, the mind feels lighter, and even the spirit becomes young again. The Japanese elders don't move to fight aging. They move to stay awake inside their lives every single day, one breath at a time.
Dr. Hinohara, you've said before that stillness invites decline. It's such a powerful idea that aging accelerates the moment we stop moving. Can you explain what that means and why movement plays such a vital role in keeping life flowing through us, especially as we get older?
Yes, John. I often tell my patients that the body is like water. It must keep flowing or it begins to stagnate. When we stop moving, even for short periods, the systems that keep us alive start to slow. The blood thickens, the lungs grow shallow, the joints stiffen. But beyond the physical changes, something more subtle happens. The spirit becomes quiet in the wrong way. Movement keeps not only our circulation alive, but also our curiosity, our engagement with the world. When we move, even a little, we stay connected to life itself. I remember visiting an elderly woman in Kyoto who was 97 years old. Every morning she swept the stone path outside her home. Her family offered to hire help, but she refused. She said, "If I stop sweeping, my heart will forget how to beat." Of course, she didn't mean that literally. She meant that daily movement gave her purpose, rhythm, and presence. Her sweeping wasn't exercise, it was a conversation with her own vitality. She kept moving, and life kept moving with her. We often think aging is something that happens to us, but in truth it's a dance we participate in. When we sit too long, when we stop using our hands, when we avoid the effort of small daily motions, the body begins to believe it's no longer needed. Muscles respond to purpose. The heart responds to activity. Even the brain thrives when the body moves, because movement signals life, and life loves to respond to itself. That is why I always say, don't let stillness take over. Walk slowly. Stretch often. Even just lift your arms and breathe deeply once every hour. These small acts remind your cells, your heart and your mind that you are still alive and still willing. In that simple willingness, aging slows. It's not about defying time, it's about refusing to stop flowing with it.
Dr. Hinohara, I love the way you describe aging not as a battle, but as a form of cooperation with the body. Many people fear growing older and try to fight against it. What does it really mean to live in harmony with our body as we age?
John, harmony is a beautiful word. It means agreement, not resistance. When we are young, we often take our bodies for granted. We stay up too late, skip meals, push ourselves to exhaustion. The body forgives us because it is strong. But as we grow older, the relationship must change. We must begin to listen. The body starts whispering, not shouting. It tells us when it needs rest, warmth, nourishment, or movement. Living in harmony means we hear those whispers and respond with kindness instead of frustration. Many people see aging as a loss of power. I see it as a refinement of wisdom. The body becomes more sensitive, not weaker. It becomes honest about what it can and cannot do. When you fight against that honesty, when you force it, ignore it, or compare it to your younger self, you create suffering. But when you move with it, when you adjust your rhythm and still keep showing up every day, you find peace. In Japan, we have a saying, "Karada wa tomodachi," the body is your friend. You wouldn't shout at a friend who's tired. You would walk beside them gently. That's how we must treat ourselves as the years pass. I've met people in their 90s who move gracefully because they never tried to be 20 again. They just respected their pace. They walked slowly, ate simply, and rested when needed. Yet they were full of energy because they lived in cooperation, not defiance. Harmony is not giving up. It's aligning with what is real. It's saying, I understand my limits and I will care for them. That care becomes strength. When you live in harmony with your body, every breath feels like partnership, not effort. And that, I believe, is the secret to aging not just longer, but softer, with dignity, gratitude, and peace in every step you take.
Dr. Hinohara, the Japanese elders you speak about often follow simple daily routines, just a few gentle movements that seem to keep them strong and balanced for decades. Could you tell us more about these small practices and why such simple motions can have such powerful effects on the body and mind?
Yes, John, these movements are deceptively simple, but that's their beauty. You don't need a gym, equipment, or youth to do them, only awareness. Most Japanese elders begin their day with 6 gentle motions: raising the arms above the head to open the chest, rotating the shoulders to release tension, turning the neck slowly side to side, lifting the knees one at a time, circling the ankles, and bending forward slightly to wake the spine. That's all. It takes perhaps 10 minutes, but those 10 minutes create a foundation for the entire day. They remind every joint, muscle, and organ that life is still flowing. When you do these small movements every morning, your body learns to stay ready. Balance improves because the ankles and knees are reminded of their purpose. Circulation strengthens because the chest opens and the heart beats with rhythm. Even digestion becomes smoother because the gentle twisting of the body wakes the internal organs. It's not about building strength. It's about keeping the doors open so energy can move freely. I often tell older patients, imagine your body as a garden. If you don't water it daily, the soil dries, the flowers droop, and soon life fades. But if you care for it with small, steady acts, it will reward you with color, fragrance, and peace. These 6 movements are like watering the garden of the body, quiet, nurturing, and consistent. They also give something precious to the mind, a few moments each day where you connect with yourself, not through thoughts but through feeling. And perhaps the greatest secret is that these small rituals build trust. The body learns that you will care for it, and in return it keeps you steady, flexible, and alive. Movement is a language of gratitude, and when you speak it daily, no matter your age, the body listens and life continues to bloom gently within you.
As we close today's episode, I'm reminded that health isn't built in hours at the gym, but in moments of quiet care, the way we move, breathe, and listen to our bodies each day.
Yes, John. Longevity is not about adding years, but about filling each day with gentle awareness. When you move with gratitude, eat with presence, and live with kindness, your body becomes your lifelong companion, not your burden. Age gracefully, but never passively. Keep walking toward life.
Thank you, Doctor. And to our listeners, stay mindful, stay moving, and subscribe for more wisdom ahead.